And the biggest mistake I made with this is, hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Journey. What's that in my hair? Okay. Journey 718. And we are on stage 2 of this renovation. This is the office bathroom that I am renovating. And stage 2 is painting. I really like painting, but I have to paint when I'm in the season or in the mood for painting because it can be a satisfying job, but it can also be stressful. Well, anyway, I've installed the wallpaper in stage 1, so I am painting everything that doesn't have wallpaper on it. Lessons learned, I probably should have painted first and then did the wallpaper, but this is the way that we went. So let's get into how that went. I'm never forsaken, never alone. The God of heaven. Okay, so before I painted, of course you have to select a paint color, and this can be very difficult to select the paint that you actually want, because if you're thinking of a blue, then what shade of blue? There's so many hundreds and hundreds of shades of blue. If you're thinking of a green, same thing, brown, tan, whatever it is. What is generally a motivator for me is just going out to Pinterest to see some different, whatever the room is, in this case, bathrooms and different colors there. And I fell in love with the green because I wanted a warm jewel tone color. So I wanted a deep green. So I didn't know that, but I wasn't sure what shade of green that I would select. So here's another tip. If you go to your big box stores, they generally have some samples of rooms that are set up, and they will let you know those types of colors. You can kind of go off of that or just pick the colors that you want. Me, I saw something that I loved, and it was this jasper green. So I selected this jasper green. It was the jewel tone I needed, and I thought that it would go well with the wallpaper that I selected. Also, I knew that along with the walls that I will be painting the one vanity that is in the bathroom too. So I wanted to make sure that whatever color that I had on the wall, I would also use on my vanity, and it would still look nice with those two colors. I wasn't looking at trying to do a pink wall and a pink vanity. I didn't wasn't going that way as well. So the paint color, I thought the jasper was beautiful. Then the next stage is selecting the brand of paint that you want. My goodness, there are so many different brand names of paint. Sherwin-Williams, you have Behr. It's just so many. I went with the HGTV, and this is the Sherwin-Williams and Showcase. I wanted something that was a one coat. I didn't want to have to with a dark color. I didn't want to continue to paint over and over and over in order to get the coverage. So I wanted something with a first time coverage. So I went with this, and it cost me about $50 for the 1 gallon cans. Only purchased 1 gallon because it's a small bathroom. So I didn't think I would need more than that. And I chose the eggshell. Eggshell is my favorite sheen because I'm really not a fan of the very, very high sheen. Now, for bathrooms, they will, anyone really probably that you're talking to, if you need to wipe down walls and all of that because it's a bathroom, it's wet, it's water. Semi-gloss is kind of one of the favorites. I like eggshell because it's in between all of that. It doesn't have a high sheen, but you can still wipe it down as well. So we went with the eggshell. And I will tell you, plus, 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 plus on that because it truly did its job with the one coat. So if you're looking for a paint, this Sherwin-Williams will definitely be one that I think that you will be very pleased with. At least I was. Really like the paint. All right, so the other items that I wanted to get, I had some supplies at home, but I always like to get a new brush. The brush means a lot when you're painting. So I picked up, looking at my notes here, the trim brush. I picked that up, and it was the wall and trim, and it was 1.5 inch. And I wanted this like for the trim and the corners because I only had really one full wall to paint, which I would roll on that. but I would have a lot of trim because around the three, one, two, I guess it's two walls, one, no, three walls. Three walls I would need to trim. So I purchased the brush and I also purchased the edge trimmer. I love the edge trimmer because I always go in first and I won't go to the ceiling. I won't take it to the ceiling, but a little, maybe a half an inch below the ceiling and just run the edge all the way through. It gives you a nice thick border to start with, and then I can roll after that. And that always works for me. Then I'll go back with the edger. So that's what I did with this one. So you'll see the edger brush here. Of course, I always get some new rollers because I never check to see what I have at home, and I don't want to get back home and then say, oh, I don't have any rollers. So I just picked up some rollers as well. I do have this little paint tray that I have at home. So I use that for just the small jobs, the trim and all of that. And then I had a paint can that I use to pour the paint in. And this, when I'm up and down the ladder, I can use this and don't have a big paint tray that I need to carry. So all of these items really work for me. Oh, I cannot forget gloves, because I don't care how neat I try to get, I have paint in my fingernails and everywhere else. So I did have some disposable gloves that I used to get this job done. After I have all my slides, you see, I think I'm at work. It's not slides, supplies. I then went to open my can of paint, realized I didn't have a paint stirrer. So I had to use a wooden ruler that I had, and I stirred up the paint. Always, even if they shake the paint for you, still stir it, because it's colors that they're mixing in. You're taking it from the location to your home, so everything is settling if it's sitting there. So I like to give it a good stir before I start pouring the paint into the paint trays. I should not have put this this paint top on the top of the commode here, but it was just quick. It didn't mess anything up, but I'm like, oh, that looks careless. But anyway, that is one of the reasons why I said I wish I would have painted first, because if I would have gotten all the paint done first, I would not have to worry about, oh, don't get paint on the wallpaper. If it was just wallpaper, I just wallpaper over it. All right, so then here we go. We started with the edger. We did the edging. Then we came through and we started rolling the paint. And I also did the brushing. So you'll see in this video me painting with the brush and rolling, and the edger. The ladder was a challenge, going up and down the ladder because the ceilings were a little higher than what I can reach. So I did do a lot of up and down on the ladder. So some of these shots are not the best, but do know I was working to get all of this done. The most difficult part with the ladder is I had to go over the shower, and I have one of those shower inserts. So I had to like balance the ladder in two legs in the tub and then two legs outside, and I wanted to make sure it was secure because I did not want to fall. So that part was a little challenging, trying to get over the shower insert, and it came out really nice. So here's a piece of it that I'm showing you, but in the big reveal I will show you all. It was fun. I really liked it. I love the color. And before I close this out, I do want to say, and I don't have it in this video, but you'll see it in when we wrap up and I'll show you everything. I did paint the vanity with this paint. It was easy to paint. I did, because I did the eggshell, I did want to put a sheen over it. So I brought this polyurethane stain. And the biggest mistake I made with this is I didn't follow the instructions. The instructions said to use a very thin layer of the polyurethane on the cabinet, and I didn't. I was like, oh, this don't, and I layered it, and it took probably 2 weeks in order for it to cure or dry before I could put the cabinet doors back on. So if you are doing that, if it says thin layer, just put a thin layer on it and it will dry pretty quickly, and then you can add your other layers as needed. That is the painting. So stage 2 is completed. In our next video, we'll go into stage 3, and we'll talk to you and see you later. Hang tight. The next video will be uploaded soon.